Wow, it's been a long time, My Hero Academia fans. Last time I talked to you guys, it was about a certain character that died. Well, today we're here for much sadder news. We're not talking about a character that died. We're talking about a franchise that died. Now, I know a lot of people love My Hero Academia, and I am one of those people. I think it's easily in the top 70 anime of all time. Alright, that doesn't sound too good. But the point is, I wanted to talk about something very important today. I wanted to talk about how My Hero Academia lost its identity. I don't want to say the great fall off of My Hero Academia, because I don't think it fell off per se, as much as it kind of forgot its strongest points. And today, we are going to talk about why My Hero Academia is amazing, and why My Hero Academia forgot what made it so great. This is a very important video that everyone in the world should see, because I will get a lot of ad revenue if they do. So please leave a like, and please subscribe and share and stuff, and please don't blast me. Just because I think Deku is one of the worst shonen protagonists of all time, that doesn't mean I hate My Hero Academia. I was the My Hero stan since season 2. I think season 2 of My Hero Academia was peak, and I will tell you exactly why. First of all, I want to note that Shigaraki has been really glowing up lately. I don't want to spoil almost anything. I just want to talk about the broad concepts in this video. I like doing that stuff more, but Shigaraki has become a fantastic antagonist. So you're probably wondering, me, a dude who likes antagonists more than protagonists almost 100% of the time, why am I blasting a series when their current antagonist is so good? That's a very good question. And that's because it's not the protagonists or the antagonists that makes My Hero Academia great. My Hero Academia is great because it tackles what society would look like in a culture where 90% of people develop supernatural abilities, where you get supervillains and you get superheroes and you get the gray zone in between. That is the best part of My Hero Academia. Because every time I see someone review My Hero Academia, they're either saying, the great fall off of My Hero, or My Hero is the best show of all time. And unfortunately, you're all wrong. It's amazing, not for the reasons you think, and it's bad, but not for the reasons you say. A lot of the people that praise it are saying that Shigaraki is a fantastic antagonist, one of the greatest antagonists in shonen, whatever, and therefore it's the greatest show of all time. And a lot of people that hate on it say, well, the protagonist is garbage. He develops all these superpowers. He's way overpowered and broken. It's not fun to watch a really overpowered protagonist just swing through their enemies, unless you're watching an isekai anime that happens to have slavery because of some weird fetish of yours. But that's not what we're talking about today. I am just gonna justify both parties and say you're both half right. It is great that there's a great antagonist, and it's ass that the protagonist is, well, ass, but you're both wrong as to why the show is good and why the show is falling off. Today, I will cover everything that no one is saying. Maybe this new strike that I got on my main channel really is causing the return of the king. I'm actually covering stuff that everyone's too scared to. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the meat and potatoes of how My Hero Academia lost its identity. I'm going to start off strong by outlining why the series is awesome. So, we have this new world. It's presented to us in a fantastic way. Almost all these people get quirks, they have abilities, some are really bad, some have them grow tails, and some help people pull their eyeballs out of their heads, because that's definitely something that everyone dreamed to be able to do. Now, obviously, if people have superpowers, and they're very unpredictable, becoming a supervillain is even more enticing than it is in our current world. And bro, have you seen cryptocurrencies? Dude, everyone's a supervillain in disguise. If they could rug pull you, they will, all right? Bro, it doesn't matter how much they have, they will risk it all to have more. And because of this, all of a sudden, the Hero Society is put in place because they need to take them down and keep them in check. It's a wonderful tit-for-tat system. It's all a chess game. You got your superheroes and your supervillains, and of course, the enforcement needs to always be paramount, because unfortunately, a single quirk could kill hundreds of people. You don't need to get your hands on firearms to become a monster. You can just become a monster due to the circumstances of your birth. So understanding the fact that people are scared to live in a society where if you just happen to have one mentally ill individual in a really bad mood with a really powerful birthright power, he can nuke a neighborhood. This is the fear that is within the minds of every single person, and because of that, they need to rely on superheroes that could nuke 2 neighborhoods to be able to defeat him and be able to bring them to justice. This is why becoming a hero makes you a being of envy in the entire world. People in our society look up to actors, they look up to YouTubers, they look up to sports players for some reason, I don't know. But imagine a hero. That surpasses all of this because the heroes get rankings, just like your favorite sports players. The heroes are actually saving lives, and the heroes are something that you could follow, love, and believe in so much more than any of these things in our world. Celebrity culture is in an extremely toxic place in our society. People will vote for a president because some celebrity said who they would vote for. These celebrities aren't famous because of their political genius, okay? They're famous because they had a good song or they look good or something like that, okay? Why would you listen to their intellectual opinions? But celebrity culture is extremely popular. Imagine how much more powerful celebrity culture would be in a society of heroes, these people that are actually saving lives. Just like everyone wants to become a YouTuber today or a celebrity today, imagine the drive to actually become a hero. It is a much, much more powerful drive, and because of that, you can imagine how many heroes end up becoming heroes due to ego, not due to selflessness. Now, this is an extremely important distinction to make because I think one of the best characters in My Hero Academia goes by the name of Endeavor. I said this years ago, and I got canceled big time because Endeavor abused his wife, abused his kids, he was a horrible dad, a horrible husband, pretty bad dude all in all, but he's the second best hero. Yeah, he's a bad dude, but he saved hundreds, if not thousands of lives. He's taken down thousands of villains, more than even All Might. He is someone that should be looked up to for all of these wonderful acts, but he's a horrible person that's purely doing it for ego. Is he a net positive for society? Is being a hero a good thing? It's this gray area. It's these questions that make My Hero Academia tick. It makes you really think about what this society would look like if quirks would exist. And on the flip side, you have Stain. You have an amazing antagonist who's not as strong as Shigaraki, doesn't pose nearly as much of a threat. In fact, he's taken out by some high school kids, but he's a villain who hates the society of heroes. He doesn't just kill every hero. He'll only kill the heroes that he thinks are not fit to be heroes. He'll take down the heroes like Endeavor, the ones that are only heroes for ego, not to actually save people. So here you have an anti-villain and an anti-hero in this very, very, all of a sudden complicated world. Season 2 of My Hero Academia is the season that establishes this gray zone and really makes you think about what is going to happen. As we go further, we learn about many different villain groups. We learn about many different heroes. The 10 biggest pro heroes. You got the freaking Mafia. You got the villain organization guys. You got the League of Villains. You got the freaking politician villain guys. After season 2, when you learn about more and more heroes and more villains, they forget about what makes My Hero Academia great. Because every hero is a very good dude, someone extremely strong that we could look up to, a nice guy. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Once we've established this moral gray zone for heroes with Endeavor, how many more heroes are actually in that moral gray zone? Yeah, that's right, basically none. Now that we've established this moral gray zone for villains, like with Stain, who has an actual righteous philosophy that he's trying to follow, despite causing casualties, he's an anti-villain, okay? Let's be honest, he's not a good dude. I'm not saying that, he's still a villain, but at least he has an interesting philosophy. Let's look at all the villains since then. They're all pure evil. They're not good guys. There's no possible inkling of understanding them to be a good guy. There is no moral grayness anymore. The beauty of society is that society lives and thrives in this moral gray zone. Almost no one is pure good or pure evil. Everyone will have their self-justification, theories, and reasons as to why they're doing what they're doing, and most people that want a high position in society, a position to be looked up to by everyone, they don't do it for noble purposes. This is the identity of My Hero Academia. This is what makes it such a fantastic and gripping narrative and world. And they forgot all about that. Now it's about the big fights. It's about the big bads and the big goods coming head to head because, oh my god, there's a villain right now that's threatening all life as we know it. It's up to the hero to be the good guy and save the day. It becomes a Superman story instead of a Batman story. Even Endeavor, the only morally gray character on the hero side, the dude literally goes through his redemption arc and now he's treated as just a good dude even though he did some really horrible things in the past. And okay, listen, people grow and forgive and forget and all that, and that's lovely, but like, come on, man. What, Bakugo, you're gonna say he's morally gray? He's not morally gray. He's righteous at the end of the day. He's becoming a hero because he wants to take down the villains, not for freaking ego. He's even kidnapped and asked to join them, and he refuses to join them. Yeah, he's a bully. He's not a nice guy. He's an abrasive fellow. Okay, it's true, but he doesn't hit that moral gray note that makes My Hero Academia tick. And not only that, why is it that only the people that are extremely righteous or extremely evil Only they have the crazy quirk destructive powers that they can annihilate cities and stuff with a single blow and fart. It completely undermines an extremely powerful theme that the story was setting up from the very beginning, that everyone could be a hero. If your heart's in the right place, you could make it, which is ironic because then Deku is given the strongest power of all time, and it's like, all right, but that's a different story. This is why I think Deku is one of the worst shonen protagonists of all time, undercutting all the themes of the entire story, but that's not the point. Not everyone could be a hero. You have people in class 1A, right? These are the tip-top peak quirks, right? These are the quirks that actually are worth something. These are like, look at Bubble Man. Look at the dude with the tail. Okay, now that's a superpower. No, only like 3 people are even remotely useful, with only Deku being, you know, useful. It's this concept of undercutting characters and themes throughout the entire story just so you could have this epic good versus evil climax that really proves that My Hero Academia lost its way, and it's sad. I love potential. When I see a story with limitless potential in front of me, my eyes are wide and I am starry-eyed excited to see how they are going to tackle all of these amazing possible situations that they've set up. When I saw the first episode of Made in Abyss and I saw this infinitely sprawling chasm, I was just so excited to see where the adventure led, and that is a story that doesn't disappoint. With every layer deeper into that chasm, it gets darker and darker and darker. Hunter x Hunter, the same way. You start learning about the world little by little, but as you keep growing and seeing the darkness that exists in that universe, there's just so much there. One Piece is this massive, sprawling story with such a huge world and so many different factions and facets, and it does not disappoint, constantly introducing more and including more and more mysteries and solves and more morally ambiguous characters like you would see in the real world. My Hero Academia lost its potential because it set up an amazing world with potential moral ambiguity, amazing possible themes, and basically threw all of them into a trash for an amazing final climactic battle. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Shigaraki's an amazing villain for what he is, but I do think My Hero Academia lost its way regardless. So ladies and gentlemen, just here to spit some truths. If you agree, leave a like. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments in an extremely detailed response why you disagree with me so I can read it. And if you change my mind, I will make an update video. That's right, this is Nuxanor. Nuxanor, I just make videos on whatever the hell I want at this point because the entire world needs me. That's right, I'm the noble one here. But regardless, it hurts me that people seem to not understand stories. And I like to understand stories. I love stories. I'm a huge fan of fiction. Here I am, ladies and gentlemen, Nuxanor, signing out. Have yourself a most wonderful evening. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz for more content. Let me know other topics you want me to cover that no one understands. And remember to stay weird, fam.